Hello guys, welcome to today's episode on Python tutorials for beginner series. So in today's episode we'll be talking about how to get the user input in Python. Okay, so this actually is going to be a very crucial topic because for your program, your software, your game, whatever it is that you're trying to make with Python or any programming language, you have to know how to get the user input. Okay, have to know how to make your program interact with the user. It has to be able to collect data from the user. Okay, so the way we collect data is like we have this in Python, we have this input built-in function. This is what we're using to get input in Python in our programs. Okay, so without further ado, you actually remember I taught something on the previous episodes where I talked about variables. So I think today I'll be using variable. So this variable, okay, instead of hard coding it into a random name like say George, okay, say George, I don't want to do this. What I'll be doing is that I'll actually give the user a chance to actually input their real name, okay, so that depending on the user, your program will always get to store the user name. Okay, and it's probably different for every person because we all have different names. So I'm going to be doing a print statement. So the print statement I'll be doing here is just to get you guys to like see how this actually works. Okay, so I'll say, what is your name? This is actually to be the feedback after the user actually input their name. So hello there, name. Okay, so let me just clean the code up. Okay, so let me run this. So as you can see, when I run it, it actually tells me, it prompts me to give in my name. So I'll say my name is Saidi. Okay, so after importing my name, when I hit it, it says hello there Saidi. Okay, so in this scenario right here, my variable right here actually stored the name that I actually gave it. Okay, so to give it another name, let's say let me run the code again. Let's say what's your name? I actually input like George. Okay, it goes hello there George. Okay, so you can see right here, this is actually an advantage. So that variable right there, it actually stores depending on what the user inputs, and that's a very very important feature. Okay, in your programming journey, you actually use it like all the time, literally. Okay, so that is one way you can actually deal with input. Another way you can actually deal with this input is like, okay, let's say you want to do a math calculations, anything, so long as you want user input. Say you have a newsletter and you want your customers to actually sign in with the email address and their names and whatever you may want from them. Okay, so what you just do is like this inputs, and then after creating these inputs, they just have to store this in a memory. I'll be showing you how to store things in Python, in files, in databases in the future tutorials. But for now, you have to know this is the input. And the input, the way you can deal with is limitless. Let's say you want to store a number. Let's say you want to store an integer. Say integer is equal to, so input, I'm going to be doing an input. Okay, so let's say the first number, okay, and then into this, let me call it integer 1. What I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to show you guys how you can actually use these integers in different scenarios. So right here I will be doing an addition to sum. Okay, so this one will be the second number, and I'll just do that. Sorry, yeah, just do that, and then First of all, I'll just say print out. I just have the program print out input two numbers that will be summed up. Okay, so two numbers that will be summed up. So we're telling the user input two numbers that will be summed up. Two right here. Okay, so the user will be prompted and they will actually input the first number and the second number. Okay, so what we'll be doing here, and this is actually a very simple program. It can actually get much more complex than this, but this is how far we go today because you still have so much to learn, but even with this you can actually do something. So we'll be doing an F string. By the way, I actually said in the string manipulation tutorial that I actually like using F strings because it usually increases my productivity very much. You know, like I prefer using F strings for string manipulation purposes. Okay, so let's say the result for. Okay, let's say the result for integer 1 plus integer 2 is, let's say, result. So I should be creating a result variable right here, which will be integer 1 plus integer 2. Okay, so I'm probably here. We should probably run this so that you can actually see how it works, though I'm actually expecting it to give me a certain type of error, and I'll tell you about it. Okay, so first number is 5, second number is 6. Okay, it actually, you can see right there, this is probably an error. And why is this error happening is because we're actually adding strings. Okay, these aren't actually numbers. The input, the way we actually programmed it, is just to give us like string inputs. So the values that we're getting is like saying we're getting print string 5. Okay, let's say string 5 plus string 6. Okay, so if I were to print that out, okay, you can see right here. Let me just, it will probably print it out, don't worry. So just do that. Okay, you can see right here the result for this 55, that was for the numbers right here, but this 56 right here, you can see when you add strings, when you add up strings, they are just like they're just put together. Okay, so how do you fix this? This is where we go back to the types of values that are stored in integers. Okay, so you need to know the type of value that your integer has. That's the only way you can actually be able to deal with this kind of errors. Okay, so if I do this, means I'm converting these strings into integers so that they can get added in a mathematical way. I think that's the correct word to use, in a mathematical way. So by now I'm actually probably expecting to get the correct answer. So let's say we do a 5 plus 5, I'm expecting to get a 10. Okay, so when we do a 5 plus 5 right here, 5 plus 5, we'll get a 10 because we are now adding integers and not strings. Okay, so and this is where actually you can make some use of the type built-in function. You can actually check in the types that you are actually dealing with. But yeah, so I think that should actually be it for today's episode. I hope you actually learned something, you actually enjoyed it. So one thing I want to challenge you guys is like, try with the knowledge that you have until now, try to build things. Okay, try to challenge your mind. That's the only way you actually be more proficient in whatever you want to be in programming, okay? Just sit back and say, I don't know enough, okay? You all know enough. It's just that you have to make your mind, you have to take your mind out of the box. You know, like you have to think out of the box, confront these challenges in a different way, okay? You may have few resources, but when used right, you can actually solve a problem that you never thought you could, okay? So that should be it for today's video. Just don't forget to hit the likes button if you enjoyed the video. Also, subscribe to Raxon7 channel and hit the notification button so that you can get notified whenever I upload any new videos on Python. Okay, so until next time, stay safe.